Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to the jungle. Let's talk about bad drivers. It's just making the news constantly. The update is saying 40 states under severe winter weather warnings. 40. 40. The question is, which 10 states are not under the warning? I'm not liking this. Look at that. The Egg Warrior got in here first. Hello, Nikki. Hello, Mr. Hinkle. Wait a minute. You need to update that, Mr. Hinkle. They're buried under snow cornfields. Hello, Karen. Hello, Michelle. How is everybody? Were you all waiting? What else are you going to do today? What else are you going to do? They're talking crap. The barometer's going to drop out of the universe, so we're going to get slapped. This is bigger than Helene. 40 states? Now I just play the waiting game. Am I going to lose my power? Am I going to be cold in my house? I got enough blankets and things to throw on me. Stupid. I hate that. There's something to be said for living off the grid, people. Yeah, we won't get it until 2 or 3 in the morning Sunday. So tonight going into tomorrow is when it's going to get critical for us. They already shut down Richmond County schools here. They called that yesterday. But I want to talk about drivers. What is wrong with people? Oh, I wish we had dry snow. I'll trade you. Fred, you guys, well, I don't wish it on you either, but freezing rain is stupid. It's just its own disaster. 640 in the Philippines. That's right. Where are you? Are you in Manila? I've been to the Philippines twice, and I love it over there. Be nice to be there now. I could wear this and not be cold. Minus 15 in Wisconsin. Good morning, up like Trump. Where you at, Michael Hall? What state? In Kalinga. Where is that? Is that Luzon? 10 to 40 in the UK. Karen, is it dreary skies in the UK or is it bright? Yeah, we're going to run live as much as I can. Oh, Maryland. Uh-oh. They told me Maryland is for crabs. They still get crabs out of Maryland? I'm not talking the ones on 2 legs. Really? I love it when people say, oh, global warming. What is this? 2 years in a row now, we've had snow and icy weather. That's not normal in Georgia. It's not common in Georgia. You can go years without it. Last ice storm was 2014. Power was out for 2 weeks. If we have that for 2 weeks, I'm going to lose my dang mind. That's just going to cause problems. Just nothing but problems. And then they're talking wintry mix next weekend. I'm like, oh boy, this is the fun that's going to keep on giving. Crazy. Got to get a charger for my pickup truck. Because if I lose power at the house, I'll top off my tank. Probably doing some idling to keep warm. Today I got to put the truck in the backyard in case limbs from the oak tree come down and smash everything. Stupid. I'm not buying a generator. They're not cheap, and It ain't going to keep my furnace on. My furnace is gas, and I have no way. I'd have to have an electrician come over here to hook all that up. Hello, Sangeeta. The egg warrior Sangeeta is from Nepal. She is Nepalese. She lives in Kathmandu. And Sangeeta, the egg warrior, is from Philippines. Good morning, Lawrence. So raise your hands, those of you that drive. How many of you in the room have a car pickup truck? Breakfast, pre-breakfast snack. Lawrence drives, all right. "12 years old, wow, egg warrior, okay, but you ride the jeepneys." Yes, Lawrence comes in here a lot. Lawrence, Mina's available. She's looking husband. She's a nice girl. "12 on YouTube at 4 in the morning. I got an F-150, not 4x4. I should tell the ladies across the street, y'all might want to move your cars. They got towering pines at the front of their property, and those limbs come down, they're going to destroy the cars. Michael looking wife. Well, hello, Pricey. Are you in the UK, Ireland, Scotland? We get all kinds of people in here. I love it. Scotland, Ireland, UK. Colette is from New Zealand. We have many from down under. Boy, we had one that came in here all the time, and I haven't heard from her in ages. UK, well, welcome. I sent a message a while ago. Poor girl was having trouble with her teen boy hitting the rebellious stage. Why do people in America that live in winter climates drive like idiots when it's snowing? Why do you think when the speed limit sign says 65, that means all the time, irregardless of the weather? You see it in Wyoming, Interstate 80. It's a blizzard. The winds are whipping. And we're going to go 65, 70 anyway. I'll taste one car, one truck, one screw up. And because people are driving too fast for the conditions, it's bam, 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 bam. I remember watching the Texas ice storm, whatever, was a couple years ago. A FedEx tractor trailer was just flying and just plowed into and went up on top of all the wreckage. I'm like, you're going too fast. And people were like, he couldn't help it. You couldn't help the speed you were going. Okay. You know the weather's bad. You can't look far. You should be looking ahead. You see a bunch of lights flashing and cars all twisted. You'd better be slowing that baby down. Yeah, Pricey, people don't. We're supposedly getting smarter, right? But common sense has been sacrificed. We had that here too, Egg Warrior. They shut it down though. They were out. They had four-wheelers and motorcycles. They were going around the neighborhood. And one day I just happened to be doing yard work. I see this kid on a four-wheeler come rocketing down the street. Then he sees the cop sitting down here. On went the lights, and he followed him right around the corner. The cop said something to him. He didn't have his shirt on. He's yelling at the cop. You don't see him doing it no more. It's illegal. You're not supposed to be on the road with dirt bikes, and, you have to have lights, turn signals on motorbikes down here. Pricey, I totally agree with you. Mina. I don't know if I want a wife, Mina. I do want a girlfriend. I don't know if I could live with the same person forever and ever, I don't think most people could live with me forever. Or a month. But I don't understand in Michigan. You got what? 8 inches of snow. How do you get a 100-car pileup? It's the same thing every time. People blasting down the road. Hello, Nellie. How are you? I haven't seen you in a minute. Karen, I cannot believe what the authorities are doing in the UK by letting all these other folks come in that disregard your culture or ways, and the US has been doing it. Minneapolis has allowed a huge populace of Somalis to move in. They don't like us. They don't integrate. They don't assimilate. And now they've uncovered this billions of dollars of fraud with money being laundered through a supposed learning center. Did you see that? They forgot to put the N on it. Learning center, and there is no daycare center, and it's all going back to Somalia. Ilhan Omar gets up there talking about Renee being shot by ICE. It's like, shut up, Ilhan. You better start speaking up about the corruption of you and your people. And they're looking at her. Her net worth, quantified. Did you all see that? Where did all that money come from? Yeah, Somali. Ilhan Omar is a congressional woman. She's Somalian. She hates our country. She hates Israel, hates God, hates us whites. Well, what are you doing here, lady? I never thought I'd see the day where people want to move here to hate us so they could destroy us from the inside. Sad. Oh, yeah, the Philippine police don't play. 2018, I was riding a jeepney in Manila, and they have a law. The jeepneys cannot just stop anywhere. The jeepney was stuck in traffic, and a guy walked in the street, jumped in right next to the driver. There's a seat by the driver. And a motorcycle cop wrote him a ticket, and we're all saying, he didn't stop. He didn't stop. The guy jumped in. We were stopped because of traffic. Cop wouldn't listen to any of us. Why are you giving this driver? He even told him, get out. You can't get in here. I knuckle. I looked at Gloria and said, ma'am, you should have never given this guy a ticket. That's not his fault. Hey, Vendetta. Yeah, egg Warrior, that's good. When I was in Valenzuela City in Penturan, you know, I stay at the family's house and we men no shirt because it's very hot. I remember Vember told me, just don't go outside. They have law in this city. You cannot be outside with no shirt. I said, really? In the Philippines? He goes, yeah, it's stupid. But he said, Jimmy get a ticket because he's out there walking in the neighborhood with no shirt and a cop give him a ticket. I said, wow, Michael not going to get a ticket in the Philippines because I have no shirt. Yeah, you cannot go outside without a shirt on in this area, in this village. They had curfew at 10 o'clock. The noise stops. The karaoke machines, all that. And they did. Philippine culture does not go to bed early. Here in the U.S., I had early hour jobs and I could not live in the Philippines. They make noise so late into the night. Hello, Spiritist. How are you? Am I afraid of daylight? No. It's dark here. They could not in this village. This was in the Valenzuela City in Penturan. Every barangay has rules and stuff. All right, Karen. Have fun watching the tennis match. Who's playing today? Lawrence knows German. What's Gut Morgan? Du bist. Du bist. I never did care for the Williams sisters. I'm not trying to be rude. Yes, but Egg Warrior, there are rules in different places. I learned that. They did give the guy a ticket for walking out in the village with no shirt. And they can do that. It depends on the laws for their province. You are, good morning, Gluten Morgan. Ah, got you. Good. Yeah, German is not something I could learn. The only word I know is Doomkopf. Spiritist, yeah, I couldn't speak German. Guess Warrior, you like balut? You eat balut there. Hello, VR. Doomkopf? I didn't know it was spelled that way. But yeah, when you got winter conditions, you need to slow down. You do not tailgate. And I think most Americans are in such a hurry, they just think these cars now, they're so comfortable inside. They lull you to sleep. And no problem. Walong Anaman, Egg Warrior, you have a good day or good evening there. spam chatting. Wow. Tell them to quit being makulit. Thanks for coming by. Have a good evening there. When the Williams sisters entered tennis, something changed. Yes, I know about that. But even the Autobahn, you have ice and snow. You'd better slow down. Common sense. You're not God. You're in a car. I don't care how well they make the automobile, it's going to slide. But the Williams sisters, to me, tennis was truly a sport that there were expectations about the way you carry yourself. The Williams sisters shattered that. They brought a form of low class to tennis. I didn't like it. You think of Wimbledon. You think of the class, the discipline that goes with tennis. I never cared for the Williams sisters. I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. The dad, I'm not saying they weren't good players, but they just were not. I don't like it when something that's been a certain way is polluted, ruined. Americans leave Germany and get speeding tickets here. Yeah, but cars still slide, man. You cannot fly on ice. Cars are made better in a way, but they still have the same drivetrain. You still have a brake pedal. You still have an accelerator pedal. And it doesn't matter if it's a Ferrari, a Volvo, or whatever made over there. You go too fast, you're going to lose control. Yes, Vendetta. But how about SUVs? I know I'm going to step on some toes, but SUVs were the dumbest things. When I was a kid, we didn't have SUVs. You had pickup trucks and cars. Then you had the Chevy K5 Blazer, the International Scout, the Ford Bronco. Those predated SUVs. They were better built. They were rugged. They were tough. They had higher ground clearance. They didn't have leather seats and backup cameras and all that. They were trucks for real men. Sea Jigger, a good name for my fishing boat? I don't know. I don't know on that one. People tend to name their boats what they love. The electric cars are a joke. Overpriced, high maintenance. To heat up your windshield and all that, it's going to do a draw on the batteries because it isn't like an internal combustion engine, which works off antifreeze. It gets warm and creates the heat you need to defrost your windshield and heat the cab. It's ridiculous. Wow, now marlin, that's some sport fishing there. Marlin are fighters. I've learned a little bit about that. They like to dive deep and hard. At least with a hybrid, you got a backup plan. Oh, really? German cars are inspected every 2 years very carefully. Everything has to pass high standards, so that's good. You got to see some of the crap that gets on the roads in the South here, Opter. This part of the country defines redneck. Parts, cars, stuff is so expensive now. Guy at our workplace, moving equipment around, banged into the back of a new F-150, broke the taillight. That's it. $2,500 for the taillight, the trim around it. You know, the taillight's the whole corner of the back of the truck now. They do that crap on purpose. We go to buy a replacement, and then there's a sensor for your backup camera. $2,500. Company had to pay for it. And they had our guys come out and fix it right then and there. Nope, I don't donate to BLM. Never will. There was so much fraud with that as well. The lady that headed that up bought homes in Malibu for herself. Hey, Chris. Brunson, are you serious? Bringing mosques to non-Muslim countries is a very bad idea. Hey, Snapshot. You know, that's something, Sniper. Have you seen that new... I showed up at church. There's a large family, and they have what was the Chevy. Was it the Tahoe? They used to have the Suburban. I don't even think they call it that anymore. Pulled up a couple weeks ago. So what's this new hoop, Gene? It had the Cadillac emblem. You know, it's the size of an Excursion. Cadillac? It's not an Escalade. What do you call those things? Sniper? Them big, they look like a Suburban. Those things are 80 grand. And the whole grill is 4 feet high and all plastic. Looks like a waffle maker. People are getting a bill of goods. They're paying for electric scooters for the immigrants. See, Australia, the UK, France, Germany, us, we're all programmed on stupid. Let's bring in these people who hate our country, give them benefits. And what are we going to gain by this? Hi, Casey. Welcome. By the way, sometimes I get on my rant. I don't always see everybody, but I notice these channels with these girls, they won't even acknowledge you. They will not even speak. I don't even waste my time with those. I've done some experimenting on these lives to see what they're doing. The ice cream man keeps saying he's going to ban me and E-Rock and everybody else. He even says he's going to ban the people that donate money to him. He just does that for effect. He has 700,000 subscribers. The toilet seat dude. I'm struggling to get to 10,000. Why is our government paying foreigners? They take our tax dollars and use it to bless other people, but not us. The Black Forest is beautiful, I heard. Isn't that where they make the cuckoo clocks? Sangeeta, what are you saying? Tum Nikhil Hona. Yep. Was it Italy? Some of the countries are saying they cannot wear burqas and they're very pissed about it. Honey, you're in somebody's country. You got to follow their rules, not yours. You know, I'm tired of these people, these Somalians complaining about everything. Go back to Somalia. You were free to do and believe what you want, but this is America. Get it together or get out. I'm tired of this, forcing Islam on us. They tried to wear the burqas down in Florida when they're getting a driver's license, and they said, you need to take that off. They come over here and claim religious discrimination. Hey, excuse me. Try to build a church in Iran. Or bring a Bible over there and watch what happens. I believe in freedom of religion, but Islam should not be allowed to have a mosque in this country. Because they do not allow a Christian church in theirs. They kill us. They kill us in Nigeria. They're killing our brothers and sisters in faith over there. We let a certain amount of them in, they will declare jihad. They will tear this country apart, just like they've done in their own culture. They don't like freedom. They want freedom for themselves, but not for us. That's a fact. That's not my opinion. Your fake download photo, Lawrence. Oh, she's calling you out. Mina's calling you out, Lawrence. Don't get Mina mad. She'll bust your balls. Hello, Diane. What do you mean your live stream fake people coming? Come on, Sangeeta, not all are fake. Sangeeta. Sangeeta have 3 video shorts and she wearing no bra. And I was like, wow, I'm looking those. Nati Sangeeta showing me those things. I like to look. Hacker fake person coming. Mina, you're funny. No, I've seen your live stream. There's Indian men, they come onto you. Wow, you pretty. You be my wife. Come to India. What do I eat? Granola. Naked oats. You really want to say hi to my friend? She gets bored in here. She has nobody to hang out with. Hacker fake only. You made a comment on what, Chris? My channel or somebody else? My 12-year-old brother came home with smokes from an Arab convenience store. Wow. You know, I think it's interesting. People don't want to admit this, but somebody left a comment the other day that was a little bit rude and assumptuous, or presumptuous, assumptuous. There's my new word, assumptuous. And you don't talk about the way Arabs discriminate. Man, I don't talk about Arabs because I don't like the Middle East mindset. I don't believe in Islam. Islam is a danger to everybody around the globe. They're a danger to Christians, to Hindus, Buddhists, everybody. They're a violent, wicked religion. That's a fact. I'm not dishing out hate. They are a violent, wicked religion. That's right, Dion. Mina's so funny. Sometimes her videos make me laugh so hard. She had one where she's walking around and in here, and she's like, so funny. You know, I've gotten older now. Mina, pretty girl. But you know, I want somebody here. I don't want long distance relationship. It's too hard. There's too much work and it's too much money and too much paperwork and in attorneys and no. You're fake, Lawrence. Download photo you are. Mina, you need to talk to him. He's saying it really is him. Mina, let me look. Does it pull him up? It looks like a real photo. I can't see because I can't enlarge it. That doesn't look like a fake to me. Fakes, usually a fake is especially the women where it shows like a Playboy centerfold. Hi, I've always wanted to be your friend. Now you want to lead me to a PORN site? No, bye. I don't think Lawrence photo's fake, Mina. Hey, Froggy Frog. Who's GOA? He was one fake lots of channel. Look, we had somebody that used to hang out in this room who was a moderator. His ex-girlfriend said he had 100 fake IDs. You go into the farmer's market room and start trolling everybody when they're talking about vegetables in farmer's markets. You really got to be low to go to a farmer's market to troll. So stupid. Yes, I support Israel. It doesn't mean I believe they're perfect. But Israel's surrounded by some pretty hateful countries. And people want to defend Palestinians and Iranians. They're the ones dishing out all the violence, the hatred, the terroristic attacks. Israel doesn't do terrorism. The other nations do. I think Jewish people can be very stubborn and hard-headed. We got Jews in the U.S. that do not reflect God. Mark Zuckerberg, Soros. Barbara Walters is dead now. There's a lot of Jewish people of prominence in this country that are as far as you can get from the Almighty God. Vegan troll. What is a vegan troll? One young man that he is bow work and telling me married after I know that he was once hacker fake. You got to block them though, Mina. I get clowns on here and I hide them. If some people leave a really inappropriate comment, I report them to YouTube. That's why I'm careful what I leave on other people's channels. That goes for me. I see some stuff out there where I really want to just put the boot in them. Go, don't do it. Don't do it. Mina, on the internet, there's a lot of clowns and posers. Most of what you see in my chat, men and women, they're genuine. Trust me, the clowns always show themselves. Always show themselves. Well, Sangeeta, you blocked me when my Facebook got pulled down, and they gave me no reason. They said I violated their. I tried to message you, and you blocked me on YouTube. I couldn't leave you a message, and you thought I blocked you. Somebody in my room used to go to your channel. I said, tell her that what happened. And months went by before you finally contact me. See, I don't know why YouTube lets these people create all these channels. I remember on Facebook, they demanded a copy of my dang driver's license to prove who I was. Really? I should just, anytime they do that, you ought to just send them a picture going like this. You want proof? Right here. Hello, Vicky. Dominique, I don't know who you are, and I didn't go to no party, so wrong guess. You sure you didn't go to the party in Switzerland where they used sparklers to set the building on fire? That was just stupid. I agree, Diane. The doggone YouTube ads. All, by the way, somebody did it. Somebody put this in the room. I forgot what it is. Do you know how much Google makes a day off YouTube advertising? It's disgusting. You want to talk about being a lover of money? Google is just greedy. You can't even watch a music video without some blah, 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 blah. None of the ads that are on Google have any interest in my life. Nothing. Facebook. I remember when they came out with those gay little videos with the little rowboat and it showed my picture. You guys have been friends for over a year, and it was all gay stuff. I said, "Oh, that's nice." It shows me and another man sitting in a gay rowboat going, ah. Facebook, we don't need that. We don't need that. You know, I remember when Facebook pushed Farmville, and then my cousin, who never talks to me, the one in California, he's sending me an invite to play Farmville with him. I ain't playing a game with you, Farmville. Boring. Forgive me, guys. I'm not anti Minecraft. But when I saw Minecraft, I said, I thought technology on video games got better. Why are Minecraft is like pre-Atari era, a blocky pig. And people like that. I think it's innocuous. I'm not saying it's sinful, but it's like that's like a step back into the primitive era of the video game creators. Deep fake AI. Oh my gosh. And these guys are creating their own AI videos. I'm like, and you get a following for this. It's like when I get it, when I'm looking at something I shouldn't try AI porn. Why would I want to look at an artificially inseminated woman? Well, that's not even real. It's like people that look at cartoon porn or hentai porn. What's the point? I'm sorry, there's no substitute for real. I want to see a real woman. I want to hold a real woman. I had a friend years ago that wanted to get a sex doll. I said, no, I will never do that. It doesn't do anything for me. What games do I like? I liked Bejeweled when it was on Facebook years ago. When I was using my laptop, I liked Solitaire and Mahjong. Spider Solitaire is a little bit harder. I'm not a video game guy. I was in the 80s when they had the stand-up arcade games. Yeah, Bronson, I like real ladies too. And some women are so afraid to age. Man, you can age with grace. There's a woman I work with. I think she's got a boyfriend. She's 60 years old and you wouldn't know it. In very nice shape, very good looking. And my supervisor says, I go out with her. I said, you and me both. She's fine looking for her age. She's taking care of herself. That ain't going to happen. I said, you do realize you'd be the stepfather of one of your employees in receiving, right? And you guys are the same age? That'd be a little weird. Briefs. I bought these stupid things. Make sure there's no skid marks on my underwear. I'm joking. George. These are clean. These are stupid. I bought these because of the way they were folding. I'm like, what's with the little stupid leggings? I hate these. I wore them to work one day when it's cold and you feel them grabbing. I'm like, no. We won't buy those again. Boxers are not my thing. Why? Because your thing falls out down the side. I like briefs because they kind of contain it all. I am a pig. The Kardashians do nothing for me. You go back to the movies back in the day with Bo Derek. You look at Catherine Bach, the woman that played Princess Leia, Farrah Fawcett. Now, those were beautiful women. Phoebe Cates. Oh, my word. Brooke Shields back in the day. Stunning women, natural beauties. Depends on if I have any. Thank you, Krebs. I appreciate that. I don't do jock straps. I don't like them. And you'll never catch me wearing a dang Speedo or Bermuda shorts. The older I get, there's some environments I'd be comfortable just to go nude. But if I'm going to wear something on the beach, I don't want ball framing stuff. Here, I thought in Europe they were probably more genuine than us. I will say, when I was in Hong Kong, I met some women from Britain. I was on the ferry, and a woman from Mexico was talking to me. Oh, she was a woman. She was extremely good looking, and she started talking to me, and I said, "You're from Mexico City." I said, "What brought you to Hong Kong?" "I want to see places." She had big earrings on, nice cleavage, brown. She was beautiful. I met a woman, Natalia, from Russia. She actually met me. I was walking a dog, and she came up, blonde, a 10. A 10. The Aussies were across the street at some bar. Most Aussies are 6 foot, at least. Muscular. They're all looking at her. She's talking to me. "Let me give you my phone number. I'd love to walk with you." She was married. She was married to where was her husband from? Japan. I'm like, I cannot go with this woman. That's too much temptation. I don't believe she was hitting on me. She just wanted somebody to walk dogs with. Thought, I want to walk more than a dog with you. Woo! Hong Kong had some beautiful natural beauties. That's right, Krebs. Scarlett Elizabeth Olsen. Jennifer Love Hewitt. I am not familiar with some of those, if you can believe me, Diane. Yep, A Dance with the Devil. Look, I've seen pictures of Russian and Ukraine women. They're beautiful, but they are snakes. A lot of them are snakes. They will clean you out. I met a lady from Tel Aviv. She was extremely gorgeous. I wish I'd have gone to Hong Kong without my head up my butt cheeks chasing that girl around. I met a lot of wonderful women over there that liked me as a person, and I thought, my gosh, I could have dated beautiful Chinese women, beautiful foreign women. I remember there was an Indonesian. She was Muslim. She did not wear the burqa, though. She lived in the flat when I rented it for a couple months in mid-levels in Hong Kong. And I had brought one of my girlfriends over to be naked. We were in our room, and I thought everybody was gone. And we weren't making noise, but the walls don't go all the way to the ceiling, and the little partitions, they would take a flat divvied up in like 5 little roomettes. I'm paying $300 a month for that. share the kitchen and the toilet. Joy's was next to mine, and we were quiet, and she told Tata, "Wow, I haven't had in so long, and Michael bring Chinese woman over making love, and I'm so jealous." I'm like, Tata told me, I said, "Joy was in the room?" Oh my gosh. She laughed. She goes, "It's okay, Michael. You have your life." I said, "Well, I did that when you guys were gone." I said, "I didn't know Joy was looking at me that way." Joy and I never did anything, no. Well, Chance, you may be right. Sydney Sweeney doesn't do anything for me. There's a Sports Illustrated on the pack counter where I work in the packing area, and I looked it up, and she's got them pushed all the way up. I said, "Are those implants?" One of the guys says, "Nope, those are real." He said, "I promise you those are real." I said, "Okay, then." I think that women are jealous. They will try to make a case of racism out of it. I got a question to the African American community. What is wrong with white people liking white women? Black people like black women. Nobody complains about that. And some of us like black women too. Nobody complains about that. I've seen women that are beautiful from around the globe. Beauty isn't reserved for just one ethnicity over another. There's beautiful black women. And what we have in the US is we have a subculture of people. Due to their upbringing, due to their environment, they choose crappy music, they choose crappy lifestyles, they have zero class or low class. That's not my fault. Women don't want to shave under their arms. That's gross. I don't want to see a jungle under a woman's arms. That's disgusting. You want to go around with hairy pits? You can be by yourself. Or go find some dude that's into hairy underarms. I'm not. I'm not into ghetto girls. I'm not into them. And we got them in our white populace too. No thanks. Not my cup of tea. Only if they come to Jesus. It's cool to be offended. Who's delusional? I look dumb. What does dumb look like, TM? Let's see who you're all about. Joined 2 years ago, no subscribers. Oh, did you tell me shut the F up and go to bed? I bet you wouldn't say that to my face, little clown. You must be a kid. This is for adults, bro. It's easy to hide behind a phone and a keyboard, but I promise you don't work as hard as me. I promise you haven't lived overseas. I promise you haven't even done a tenth of what I've done in my 59 years. So you can leave or I can throw you out of the room. What's it going to be? You tell me. We got a Tractor Supply here. I've never been in one. By the way, I like the people telling me I'm delusional. That's why there's 10,000 subs and people want to hear my lives because I'm delusional. Right? Stupid stuff that people say. Really, Diane? No, I wish I was in my 30s with what I know now. Yeah, people don't feel bad for me. No, they don't. Most people today don't care, bro. Let's let TNB hang himself in the room. Anybody want to say words to TNB? Give him an education, chatters. Feel free. TNB, you don't even have a picture. Let me see. What do you got here? I can't even tell. Some monster, something. "10 years ago, I'd be thrown in an asylum." Really? How come I wasn't thrown in an asylum 10 years ago? I was here. You're so stupid. There you go, VR. You can tell by the comments that TN does not have good daddy upbringing. It shows. People don't feel bad for me. Not at all. What is there to feel bad about, TN? I'll bet you when you are 59, you will not be in the shape I'm in at all. I'll bet you. I'll bet you. Just another troll. Just an old-fashioned troll song. Thinking that he's all that on a stick. Yep. How many times have we dealt with these clowns? They feel brave behind a keyboard, hiding in mommy's basement, smelling panties, wishing they had a girlfriend, wishing they had a job. Well, no, they don't want a job. They robbing mama's purse to get money for their marijuana. TNS 2 mums. Well said, gentlemen. Show them the door. Tennessee, you have a good day. When did you transition, TNB? I don't think the clutch worked, VR. He tried and it ground gears and it just shredded the synchros. Two mums. CTN, now you've come up against other grown men. Isn't it fun? Prime rib, filet, or ribeye, they're all good. They're all good. Have you ever had beef brisket? Hey, Johan, how are you? Where's all the ladies? Mina was in here. Karen, where'd everybody go? It's become the gentleman's club now. Should we pass around cigars? You know, somebody told me years ago that, Gabby, there you are. How are you, Gabby? Somebody told me golf was invented because it stood for gentlemen only, ladies forbidden. You ever hear that? Golf was for men and they didn't want women involved. Gentlemen only, ladies forbidden. Thank you, Gabby. I was starting to get worried. Sometimes we need a little estrogen in the room. We guys like estrogen. Didn't God do a good job when he made a woman? I mean, I don't care how many years go by, I still look at a woman's curves and it makes me go crazy. Makes me go crazy. Oh, you're in Guam? I was there for 2 hours, man. In 2018, on my return to Denver from Valenzuela City. Oh, here we go. I have a teenage obsession with teenage boys. You're out of here. I've never had an obsession with a teenage boy ever. So let's see, where are we? Hide the user from the channel. You should be reported for that too. Clown. Chamber Hilton. They need to put him in a chamber with iron bars. Now, that's somebody you need to watch out for that probably has a fascination with boys, underage boys. To make that kind of an accusation, I've never even given off any hint or anything that would indicate that I'm into that. One, because I'm not. You did? Thank you, Vicky. What an idiot. Yes. I didn't even ban Tennessee. The boys, that's not Tennessee, but TN, because there's a guy that comes in under Tennessee and he's cool. We have one teenager boy that, well, we had that Filipino came in here, said he was 12, but we have a teenager somewhere in the Midwest. He comes in and he's always been respectful. So I put this as not made for children. I think YouTube, the cutoff's 14, but Australia, you got to be 18 to be on the social media now. By the way, I support that. They need to do that here. They need to do that. I really am starting to see it's blending and blurring the lines between adults and children. I should be able to have a forum and not worry about little tykes running loose in here with their BS. Hi, Tammy. Welcome from down under. Sang, where have you been? Yes, saying, oh, is that the truth? I meet Americans like that. Two women will go to a Chinese restaurant and try chopsticks the first time and then think they're an expert on Asian culture. I'm like, how do you figure? I overheard somebody saying stuff about Hong Kong. I said, did you ever live there? No, I did. You did? Yeah, and everything you just said is not true. Well, my friend said, did your friend live there? No. Okay, then. Go listen to CNN one more time. That's right, VR, and thank you. I appreciate you guys standing up. This is where we see an example right here in this chat needs to happen in this country. We conservatives, we God-fearing people need to have a unified, loud roar that's so loud that it scares the Democrats. We're too independent. We're too each man's an island in this country, and that's why they're getting away with all this stuff. There's a lot of Republicans in the state of Minnesota. When you actually look at a map, it's all the big cities that are blue, but you get out in the rural and there's red everywhere. Thank you, Tammy. We have fun in here. Hello, Raleigh. How are you? And welcome. I think some of these trolls are having trauma because they didn't have big wheels, slip and slide, sit and spin, slinkies, and etch and sketch and light bright. They're stunted in their emotional growth. Some of the girls that come in so nasty, they didn't have an easy bake oven. They didn't have a Snoopy snow cone machine. I think there's trauma associated with a generation that didn't grow up with those things. They lived in the basement. They lived in the bedroom. I miss it too, Raleigh. But it's getting thick. It's growing. It's just slow to go. Hopefully by spring, we'll start to see a little length. It's going to look like a mess because I'm going to let it grow and be a bit of a mess. Thank you, Diane. That's good to hear. I haven't seen Starfleet Academy. I've heard of it. You'll have an aneurysm? Oh, he was projecting. You know, it took me a while to learn that. I used to get so offended, but when people make comments that I'm a child molester, I don't joke about that. Because child molestation is serious and you don't make those accusations to people unless it really is an issue where somebody is doing it. And that's somebody there that doesn't belong on chat. Mom, please take the phone away from your child. I think it'd be so neat if I had some program that could see the ID come in the room and I could push an option on my phone to click on and say where it's beaming from. And that I only had that. Say, oh, you're in your mommy's bedroom from this address on this street in this town. Suddenly the room gets quiet. I love that. See, when everybody thinks they're all that, it's like drivers when they hide their license plate, put the dark tinted plastic thing over it. Man, I tell you what, I had kids on the bus one day, and a parent ran out. I can't remember what happened, but I was driving, and people get stupid around a school bus. It was a double left turn. No, it was not. It was a single left turn. I'm in the bus. The green arrow goes on, and there's a straight lane, and I'm turning to go into my lane of traffic. And this guy turns, almost hits, lays on the horn, and I'm like, you can't turn from there. He goes around me and he's going like this. Then he pulls into the school zone in front of me, slams on the brakes, and I honked at him. And his middle finger was out with his kid in the car. And I dropped the kids off and I went around them and I stopped and opened the door and I said, you're on my bus camera and you've been reported. I will be calling the police as soon as I get a break. You turning in that lane was stupid. I never saw him again, ever. He didn't show up. I tell you what, I saw so much dumb stuff in a school bus with suits and ties, so-called professionals. And they've got this mentality, oh, you're just a dumb bus driver. No, you're an idiot. I'm not a dumb one. No, I don't have a CEO degree. But me driving and caring for people and being a good driver, I'm proud of that. You can't even drive your car, and you got a degree for that. Give me a break. Show off some more. I'm glad I'm not driving the bus anymore. I got wound up. You just see so much stuff out there. Now you got the kids, you got the traffic, you got the politics of the school district. It's just, now you can just go to my job, work 8 hours, and go home. Things are calming down, though. You notice nobody's asked, why are you wearing that? That was constantly on my channel. Why are you wearing that? Why are you dressed like that? Yes, witchy. How are you? Ooh, witchy woman. She got a mood in her eyes. Remember that song? Well, hello, lovey. How are you? Remember Thurston Howell would say that to his wife. Hello, lovey. I'll pay $1,000 for that. Thurston, we're on an island. Money doesn't do anything here. There's no store. All the years I thought I was smart watching Gilligan's Island until I became an adult and somebody made me realize, how come the transistor radio that the professor had always worked and the batteries never died? Did y'all pay attention to that? How did the transistor, they didn't have rechargeable batteries back then. How come the transistor radio in Gilligan's Island always worked? That's weird. That was called a production faux pas. Like when they have an old Western scene in the area that they use for the old buildings, they forgot to block off with the big, they put panels and they paint them to look like mountain and stuff. And you see a General Lee go by in the background go, whoops, that ain't the 1800s. Who had always nice, clean clothes? You? Yeah, movie faux pas. I like it when they have the outtakes of stuff like who was it that was reporting the news back in the 70s? Good evening, everybody, and a fly. Zzz. He got to stand there and sit there and be professional. Oh, yeah, the cast. I remember when I was in Duluth, I lived across the street from the old Central High School. Brownstone, beautiful, was it 4-story building with a clock tower, central tower, not a clock tower. It did have a clock on it, yeah, I think. That's been so long. I had a commanding view of it out my apartment window. Beautiful architecture. And the movie Iron Will, they shot a scene there. It was City Hall of Winnipeg over the arch. This wasn't shot in Canada. It was shot in Duluth. The dog sledders. I watched the movie. And they did such a good job. There was no traffic. You couldn't see my apartment. But you saw the old Central High School and the stands. And they had the snow trucked into the street so they could have the dog sleds come in the finish line. And I was like, that's amazing. They shut all the modernity out. I lived in Spokane, Witchy, and was briefly in Seattle. Well, I am 59. I live in the state of Georgia. I grew up in Los Angeles, California, graduated in high school in Prescott, Arizona. I've lived in Duluth, Minnesota, Ohio, Washington State, Colorado. I don't like Colorado. Everybody thinks it's awesome. I don't. Ohio, Hong Kong for 13 months. Been to the Philippines, Japan, Guam. Japan was for a night, Guam passing through. Actually, laid over 2 hours in Hawaii on the return flight. So I can say I've been to Honolulu Airport. That was a trip. The airport's old school. They got wood paneling on the walls, and it's a cool airport. Hawaii is beautiful as you fly in. The mountains are so dramatic. The water is deep around Hawaii. Basically, the Hawaiian Islands are volcanic activity that rose up from the seafloor. Are you in Anchorage? Witchy? I was adopted as a kid. I'm a Christian, I'm a conservative, and I'm not perfect. I struggle with sin like everybody else. Yeah, some were. Hong Kong was fun. There was good and bad with it. I chased a girl over there. That was an epic fail, but hey, sometimes our greatest teacher is mistakes. I just never felt the need to go to college and regurgitate a bunch of textbook trash to pass a test. I wanted to learn about life the old fashioned way. HKU. I'm not yet a graduate, but I'm currently enrolled in Hard Knocks U. And it's true. People who are well traveled are different. That's why when you see these trolls, they probably never made it across the county line. They probably the most exotic place they've ever been is in their mom's basement. You too can win an all expense paid trip to your mommy's basement. That's right, folks. We have a Davenport, we got a recliner chair, and we've even got PlayStation controllers, and we've even got tips on how to troll everybody on the internet. It's all gonna be yours if you guess this. Price is right. Thank you, Witchy. I love having you guys. I like parts of Wisconsin. Ashland, Rice Lake, Washburn. Love the little towns dotting along the south shore of Lake Superior. I can't drink pop because of my allergies. When I was a kid, root beer, Orange Crush, 7-Up. Never was into Pepsi. Coke. I'm still not into Coke. Lots of people into crack, but not me. But no, seriously, I never liked Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper. Pepsi. Root beer. Sarsaparilla. Gotta say that. The back seat of my aunt's Mustang, 60s Mustang. My sister, my cousin, and my mom bought us cold sarsaparilla root beer in a brown bottle. I love that stuff. And they were sipping theirs. I popped the top out of mine. I guzzled that thing down like a drinker. I turned around, looked at him, and I did not. And I went to open my mouth to say something, and it went like Lurch. My sister and cousin were laughing so hard the car was shaking. My mom and aunt walked out. What is going on? What are you being so? Michael just drank the whole root beer and he burped and it wouldn't stop. You think my mother would laugh? No, she was irritated that we were having fun. Simple fun is evil. You cannot laugh. My mother had the mentality children would be seen, not heard. Needless to say, I suffered immeasurable trauma from that. And I still can be a clown sometimes. I had a girlfriend in Duluth that had such an addiction to Mountain Dew. She got an apartment not too far from me, and I went over in the back enclosed porch. She had, were they 24 packs or 12 packs, stacked floor to ceiling on one wall. I said, Sarah, are you sure you got enough Mountain Dew? Well, I don't know. I can never have enough. I said, you know, there's twice the caffeine in that as coffee. I know I need it. I should have married Sarah. She was the cutest girl I ever dated up there. And I was stupid. I listened to my friend. She's not a Christian. You shouldn't be dating her. And I realized 13 years of my friendship was dominated by him playing bossy butt when I finally grabbed my balls and said, you know what? I'm done with this. Bye. I got to stand before God, not you. Did I break my ribs? No, not at all. I did have a rib broken once. My son was real little. I was laying on my back on the living room floor, and I'd hold him up when he was a little tyke, and his feet were bouncing, and then he slipped and fell so hard, and that hurt forever. You know, you can't get that fixed. It heals on its own, but if I coughed really hard or whatever, it hurt for a while. I think it cracked it. Certain bones you crack, there's nothing you can do about it. You just deal with it. Excuse me. What time is it? My word. I better get to the store. Because I don't want to be out there with everybody running the stores freaking out about the snow and ice drama. No tanks. I should light up the city and go out there in that dress, but I don't know if I have the guts for that today. I've never done that. It'd be interesting to see what happens. Watch a news reporter would happen to ask me a question about something. I'd be on the Augusta News. Oh my gosh, look at Mike. He's wearing a dress. That's okay. Half the town's on crack and killing each other and stealing cars and acting up. This is pretty harmless. We have a Burger King like every other place, and the one not too far from me, the employees got into a big old brawl. What was it, Thursday? The police were called. They were fighting so hard behind the counter, the employees, all of them, dogpiling, fighting, grown adults. They didn't even see the police come in there and start grabbing them all and putting cuffs on them. And shut down Burger King because everybody got arrested that was running the night shift. How stupid. I mean, Augusta, Georgia, get it together. Dumb, 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 dumb. All right. Got my pants on, and I'm almost ready to go. I should go like this, but it's too cold. It is too cold for a dress. I agree. I should see if we could hold the stream while I'm driving. Maybe I could take the back streets. And then it won't. I get on the freeway and the stream kills. I gotta turn this off. I found out something about this nice little radiator heater. When I'm done with it, I can put it in the closet, and when it's off, it still radiates heat. It warms up this freezing cold closet. We'll try to take the live stream. You can see our cloudy skies. It's supposed to be cloudy today. No rain. They had originally called for rain yesterday and today. That didn't happen. But, you know, once it hits the early morning hours of Sunday, about 2 a.m., that's when things are going to turn to crap around here. So I better do what I got to do today, because tomorrow my truck will be in the backyard away from the reach of the oak branches, and I'm going to just hope for the best. They're saying 40 states are affected by this. That's a pretty big swath, people. You know, I should wear this. Why not? I can wear this, and I can just put on I don't know if that'll look stupid or not. Could put just a hoodie over it. If I can get my clothes on. Shoot, I should do this. Why not? There we go. That doesn't look bad. Ladies, you tell me. Would it look stupid with a hoodie over this, just unzipped? Or would that look too stupid? Fashion faux pas. I'd take it to my place. That would be awesome. I'd love a home cooked meal. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I want to dress this way. Thank you, Michelle, but you know, I got to wear something because it's cold out. Cold as ice, willing to sacrifice. Oh no. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh man, string catches on the end of that coat hanger. I don't know if this is gonna look right. People in the store might see this and go, what the hell? But tell me the truth. We need some women in here. Is that too much? I mean, I got pants on and this thing. Why not? Screw this city. I don't have close friends here anyway, so who cares? Might as well do something and have fun. We're gonna pop this out and... No, the hoodie, I agree. Wow, that heater's already heating up in here. That's awesome. This is awesome. It's off, but this little radiator I bought, that thing is good. It's radiant, so it makes no noise. Where he live, I'm in Georgia, USA. Let's do it. Let's watch the people have a fit. The Addams family started when Uncle Fester farted. Remember those kid songs, everybody? Get all my ring blings on. Look at that. Did you hear the barking spider? I did. It was noisy. No, I'm not wearing lipstick. People look at me and go, what is this guy all about? All right, folks, what do we got for weather? There we go. We got some blue sky showing. Unbelievable. Look at my tree, man. That looks so foreboding. I love that. That'd be an awesome picture. Well, we'll take the back way to the store. Gotta brush my teeth. Gotta brush my teeth, man. Always gotta have my teeth smell good. This is a trip. Now this'll work. It's different. Shoot, just see the way some of the dudes are dressed around here. Got their pants down, 6 inches of butt cheeks hanging out. You know what? I that is one thing I won't do. I'm not going out there with my butt cheeks showing. There we go. Put on my red shoes. I'm gonna dance the blues. I would never wear high heels. Couldn't go that far. Don't think that my feet would like being at a steep angle like that. Oh, I need my list. Need my list. I need my list. I put steel locking doors in this house because I figured I'd rent eventually. And people could lock their doors and feel like their place is secure. Oh, I've got to wear my pearls, man. That'll get people all wound up. There. And believe it or not, I never leave food in my room. Oh, I need some of this. Got to replace my skincare crap. Got to make my list. I'm getting older, folks, and I forget stuff. What do I do for work? I work warehouse, running forklifts, packing and shipping big truck parts, heavy stuff, from leaf springs to differentials to frame members, windshield stuff, defrosters, different things, just shock absorbers, filter kits, seat belts, seatbelt systems, steering wheels, turn signals, starters and generators that weigh up to 120 pounds or more. Yesterday I had foam turbochargers, 15, only got 6 done. Those things weigh 80 pounds a piece. They're huge. Yeah, birdies, you're singing today, but I don't know if you'll be singing tomorrow. Look at that. That just looks so cool. I almost cut that tree down. Because when I had them cut the oak down, it was right there. Helene, that would have fallen on the house. I'm glad I removed it before the hurricane came. It would have crushed the house. It would have been a total. Absolutely. And it's cold out. Me and my wimpy girl truck. I miss my red Ford, and I always will. Let's see if we can get this thing too. There we go. We'll see if I lose you, I lose you. We'll be back sometime today, Lord willing. We will see. All these trees, man, that's the danger. Oh, somebody threw a periodical driveway. What is it? Oh my gosh, I gotta show you this shit. I don't know who's dropping this, but they're going through the neighborhood every so often. If I can get it open. Wow, that's some plastic wrap that don't quit. Look at this crap. Louis Farrakhan. Now why called The Final Call? Yeah, there's some stuff in here that'll make you mad. I throw this in the burn barrel. It is inflammatory, anti-Trump, anti-American. I'm going to tell whoever it is, do not litter my yard with this, please. I figured, nah, leave it alone. There we go. I had to pull the blender motor out of my truck because it was stuck on AC. I bought a new one. Put it in, it didn't work, but I noticed when I removed the blender motor for the switch flipped back to heat. I said, you know what, leave it. I got heat for the winter, I'll worry about it in the summer. But I kept the old blender motor, I'll just put it back in there, it'll switch back to AC. They wanted $60 for this stupid little plastic part that didn't even work. And I took it back to O'Reilly's and got a full refund, but I miss my old 66 Ford. 2 metal levers, switch, and you had your heat. They didn't have AC in the pickups back then, but I was living out west. You didn't need it. Yeah, here's the train tracks. You guys hear the train every so often. They got salt mines somewhere. They say it's the salt mine train. Let's see. We'll take a joyride. The only way I can tell if the chat's going, I can't play this in the store because they play music. And it gets into violations. And they'll mute out my channel. The neighborhood is salt and pepper, more black than white, but you got some good homes and some bad ones. You got some homes that got 10 cars parked on the lawn and in the side yard. Then you got the ones that got the American flag. It's definitely spotty. That's why I got my house cheap, because we are at the edge of the hood. There's a house completely boarded up. Crap all over the yard. Modest 1950s homes. Smaller. Some of them in dire need of updates. An old police car with pimpy rims on it. They pay more for the rims and the stereo than they did the car. see. Wow, this is awesome. There's like nobody out here today. This is great. Maybe they're already freaking out. I love it. Stay home, people. Let me shop in peace. Somebody put a hand up. I can't see the chat. I can see if there's something showing. Can you hear me? Put a hand up or something in the chat if you don't mind. There we go. Thank you. Make sure I'm heard. I get on the freeway and the stream ends. I mean, I'm not breaking the speed of sound. Some people can get in their cars and run their stream. There's truckers do it. I don't understand why it goes off when I get on the interstate and go 65. Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got. Not much of a girlfriend. Never seem to get a lot. Take a tumble across the water. Like to see America. That was a good song. Supertramp was a good band. It was a good band. The light's red and there's one car at a major intersection. Yeah, all right. Got to top off my gas today. If the power's out for days, I might have to come out here to do a charge on the phone. I learned something. You got to idle your engine when you're charging. The phone charger can suck enough out of your battery to not be able to start. Uh-oh, Popo, who got nabbed. Gotta move over. Somebody's got their butt in the road. What happened over here? Now they pulled somebody over on a side street. 1 Adam 12. There we go. Shocked to see there's traffic enforcement. I never see that. Oh, they got bucket trucks sitting over here. What's going on? They got them right at the substation. They got a bucket truck at the electrical substation. Parked. I hope this doesn't do what they're telling us they think it's going to do. This gas station right here, true story. Black woman brought her kids in the bathroom, slashed them to pieces, 2 kids, locked herself in the toilet, slashed them to death. They couldn't get in the bathroom. Customer was trying to get in there. For some reason, didn't hear the screams or anything. When they got in there and saw the bloody aftermath, she was arrested. She's about to get out now in Georgia on reason of insanity. And there's people that know her and said she wasn't insane. Our system of justice is just phenomenal. 2 kids hacked to death with knives. That gas station was closed for the longest time and BP bought it out, opened it up. This is definitely not Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, by the way. The light's red and there's nobody coming. Strange. Man, there's a lot of pine cones in that yard. Holy cow. Thousands of pine cones. I'm going to take the back way today. What the heck? This truck sounds like a car. It's so quiet in here. I missed my 302 V8 and my 95 square body. That was a nice truck. I mean, this thing's okay. It's got a 6er in it, but I don't like it. It's just not a man truck. I missed the M35. I couldn't record because it's so loud in there. There you go. Hurry up and beat me to the red light, dude. So funny. This is a town where they have to race you to the next red. I think all the towns in America have become like that. People aren't complete unless they beat you to the next intersection. I don't even race. I don't even take the bait. Wow, you guys get to go for a ride with Ocean Heart. It's pretty dead this morning, but it can be like this. One thing I noticed about out here, this is not morning culture. Most of the people that I know around here will sleep till noon on a Saturday. I have never in my life been able to do that. The longest I ever slept in my life was till 10 a.m. in high school on a Saturday morning. But I was a teenager. All right, it's hot enough. School bus crossing ahead. Here they got signs for some of the school bus stops. Kind of nice, kind of warns you. Lets all the people know they can just run around the school bus because it's going to stop. I don't understand that. Why would you run a school bus reds? I saw it all the time when I drove. Women with children would do it. As you can tell, this is the city of trees. Everything is trees here. This is on top of the hill, so it's not as thick. But Augusta has a huge amount of trees. If you were to ask what percentage were knocked down in the hurricane, I don't know. There's so many trees. And they had areas. They had the high school by me was a place to drop off. They had out-of-state guys come with tractor trailers with tall steel sides with a grappler. We were told to put everything out by the street. Some of it you couldn't move. But the stuff that they could lift and haul off, they did, and they spent over a year. And they had staging centers to put all that wood. And I went by the high school one day, and it was stories high. Like 4 or 5 stories of wood slash and tree limbs and everything. It was unbelievable. And that's just one area. This was all throughout the county. This is the Glen Hills neighborhood. I drove for the schools over here. These kids are not sweethearts, let me tell you. There's Alligator Pond. And welcome to everybody's Universal Shopping Center, Walmart, America. All right, ladies, you made me do it. I'm wearing my dress in public. Still haven't decided whether to go to the flea market today. Alrighty then, here we go, folks. And that will end my video tour for now. I hope you all enjoyed the ride along. That's it. That's all she wrote. Wasn't that fun? Look, that looks like a Minneapolis protester putting her cart in a cart return. They do have a look over there, don't they? All right, what do we got here? All right. Hey, thank you, Diane. Hello, Dana. Maybe we can do that. We'll see. You guys have a good one. Look at me. People are going to be staring today. Oh, well. They stare anyway. Even if I wear a t-shirt, they stare. I'm a minority here, so they stare. I love it when people stare and don't smile. That really is unnerving. All right, folks. Have a good day. Walmart. Look, there you go. If they didn't play music, I'd take you in the store. I'd have to put you on mute. Maybe I could do that. No, I can't because I can't. I got to shop and use both hands. Burgers. Oh, I haven't had a hamburger in a while. Look at the red, white, and blue flapping in the wind. Isn't that neat? All right, folks. Everybody have a good one and be safe. Yeah, I can't because I need my hands. I clip this to my waist. I'll catch y'all later. Till next time. Why do I look white as a ghost? It's weird how lighting changes things. I do not have white skin. This is a misnomer. This is called fake news. I look like a ghost. I look like I'm pasty white from Scotland. Wendy Dave's double? That sounds good. All right, folks. Till next time, be safe.